They're going to transfer the wealth of individual people to a centralized location so that these people have the power and the money. That's what it's about. Mahmoud Ahmadinejad stresses need for a new world order. He says Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad on Monday called for cooperation among world states to forge a new world order. He said the conditions we're experiencing today need planning for new orders in the world and our cooperation and co-thinking for organizing the conditions. Ahmadinejad told reporters before departing for Istanbul, Turkey, to take part in the conference on interaction and confidence building measures in Asia. So here's Ahmadinejad, and we know what kind of person he is. He loves the God that tells people to fly airplanes and buildings. That's who he worships. And he believes that Israel ought to just poof, die in a big puff of smoke. And so here's tension in the Middle East here. Israel may strike Iran next month. Egypt secures border, places troops on alert. The Egyptian government believes July will be a decisive month that may see an Israeli military strike against Iran's nuclear facilities, according to a senior Egyptian security official speaking to WorldNet Daily. The official said Egypt already has implemented security measures that take into account an Israeli strike against Iran within the next month or so. Does anybody think that it's getting hot over in the Middle East? Speaking of hot, this is a report from NASA. As the sun awakens, NASA keeps a wary eye on space weather. Earth and space are about to come into contact in a way that's new to human history. To make preparations, authorities in Washington, D.C. are holding a meeting, the Space Weather Enterprise Forum at the National Press Club on June 8th. Here's what Richard Fisher said, head of NASA's Heliophysics Division. The sun is waking up from a deep slumber, and in the next few years we expect to see much higher levels of solar activity. Now I want to stop right here because there are several places in the Bible that deal with this, and one of those is in the book of Revelation. I don't know if I can find it very quickly, but in the book of Revelation it deals with this idea of the sun scorching men with a terrible heat. I believe that's one of the vials of wrath that's poured out. But anyway, we have talked on this broadcast about the possibility of an electromagnetic pulse disabling most of the electronic and electric infrastructure of our country. The theory is that Iran would explode one nuclear bomb over the United States and send out an electromagnetic pulse. If you saw the movie Knowing, and some people have sent me this clip of in the movie Knowing, he supposedly was predicting an oil rig explosion, and could very well be. But one of the interesting things in this movie was there was a lot of numbers there. There was a lot of references to the book of Ezekiel, but there was a reference to the concept that the sun's electromagnetic radiation would bombard the earth and basically kill all of life on the earth. That concept there is biblical. That is right out of the book of Revelation. Another part of that is that the electromagnetic radiation from the sun would disable most of the electronic devices upon planet Earth. It is something to be watching for. Now, getting into some really weird stuff. I'm going to be talking about, boy, I've got symbols and numbers and soccer balls, all kinds of stuff to deal with here. Here is a commentary that says the singularity is here. The article says he speaks in 9 languages, taught himself Icelandic in a week, and invented his own language called Monty. The 31-year-old acoustic savant does complex celestial computations in seconds, sees hundreds of numbers on a blackboard once, and can recite them in the correct sequence minutes later. Daniel Tammet possesses synesthesia. Not only does he see numbers, but he also feels them. He is one in hundreds of millions, as he demonstrated on ABC's 2020 this week. But when the singularity arrives, that moment in history when the supercomputer capable of trillions of moves per second will have reached parity with the human brain, capable of feelings from bereavement to passionate to anger, countless millions of people will be like Tammet. The singularity is near. A true story about the future. A documentary filmed by inventor and futurist Ray Kurzweil will make its world premiere debut June 12th at the Breckenridge Film Festival in Colorado. Kurzweil predicts that with the ever-accelerating rate of technological change, humanity is fast approaching an era in which our intelligence will become trillions of times more powerful and increasingly merged with computers. Look at this. Kurzweil sees the dawning of a new civilization, enabling us to transcend our biological limitations. Boundaries blur between human and machine, real and virtual. Human aging and illnesses are reversed, he says. World hunger and poverty are solved, and we cure death. Basically, here's what this, and this called the singularity, and I want you to get this because I've got a symbol to show you. The singularity is this idea that at some point the computers will advance so well that they will be almost human in their ability to think and ration and feel emotion. Simultaneously happening is our ability to fuse electronics, biomechanics, whatever you want to call it, into the human body, into the human brain, so that we can think, run, jump, see, do all kinds of things that computers are doing right now with amazing speed and clarity. We will be the singularity is the fusion of technology and humanity. Basically, it is making us gods. Now, I want you to follow this. Here is my technology here. Okay, I want to send a text message while I'm driving. Oh my goodness, I'm going to wreck my car. The ability to send a message to anyone, anywhere on the planet, simply by thinking it and projecting it, using humanity and electronics fused together. This is what we're on. We are close to being on the verge of that. It is a scary situation, and it is one of those things that we're looking at because this is what's going to help propel mankind into godhood. Genesis chapter 3. The serpent told Eve, 46 words here, the number of chromosomes we have in our body. He said, "You shall not surely die." There's the eternal life thing right there. "You shall not surely die, for God doth know that in the day that ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil." The day that you eat thereof. The singularity is about a day. The day of the Lord is coming. There's going to come a day when God is going to turn man over to a reprobate mind. 2 Thessalonians 2:11, "For this cause God shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie." There is going to come a day when mankind is going to be fused with something that really he shouldn't be fused with. His DNA is going to be restructured, rewritten, changed. He's going to be a superhuman, a god. The word singular. Have you ever heard that word before? Have you ever heard the word singular before? Take a look. AT&T bought them out years ago. But it's singular wireless, the logo. And notice the spelling of the word singular, C-I-N-G-U-L-A-R. The C-I-N part comes from the Spanish word cinc or cinco or whatever, which means the number 5. So look at their logo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points there. That is Revelation chapter 9, the 5th trumpet sounds. That is the number 5 all throughout the Scriptures. You're going to see that. It is accompanied by the day of the Lord. It is accompanied by the rapture of the Gentile church. It is accompanied, and we're going to see this in just a little bit here again, this number 5. If you want more clarity on that, we have a video called The Pentacle of Power. You can get that and get more understanding into this deeply occult symbolism. But I want you to notice that the singular logo is a stylized version, and you'll see it everywhere, of the Skull and Crossbones. The Skull and Bones Society, a secret society that Bush and Kerry and all of these other people belong to. The Skull and Bones symbol, the bones represent the X chromosome where our DNA is stored. The skull is a symbol in the Bible for the Antichrist. It is the Antichrist or his spirit fused with mankind. That's what the singularity really is. Look at this article here. Immortal avatars. Back up your brain. Never die. Zoe Greystone is a girl with 2 brains. Only one of them is human. The other is an exact digital copy that has become conscious in its own right. When the human Zoe dies, her digital brain is implanted into a humanoid robot, effectively bringing her back from the grave. Such ideas have littered science fiction for decades. Indeed, Greystone is a character in the American TV drama Caprica, but could such a tale ever become reality? Though there is little prospect of creating a genuinely conscious robo-clone in the foreseeable future, several companies are